presenters, you have taken longer than necessary. So please bear with us, because basically we want to hear 14 years of Constitution 2010. I was privileged at Uhuru Park then, before they messed it up in recent years, to have been one of the three people who saw allegiance to this document. Number one was President Kibaki, may God rest his soul in peace. Number two was Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and I was the third to serve. This, as Papa Wino has been saying, is a living document. And today is we're on a serious mission. Really very serious, sacrosanct mission. As a people, Okoa Katiba, Okoa Kenya. So I thank the organizers for putting together this event, coming as it does at a critical time and at a place which is of historic significance, Ufungamano House. It is here at Ufungamano where the journey towards establishment of Constitution 2010 was begun. And therefore we will guard this Constitution on our part. We will guard this Constitution with our lives, and that is what our young people have demonstrated. Article 1 of this document says all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. Article 2 of the Constitution says, among other things, that this is the supreme law of the land. Any other law which is inconsistent with this Constitution is void to the extent of such inconsistency. And so that those who want to act in violation of this document may know that Kenya is not an island. Under Article 3, I believe, we say that all the international instruments, international treaties to which Kenya is a signatory form part of what one would call the law of the land. And therefore, that includes, among others, all the rights treaties, including the International Criminal Court. We are signatory to the ICC. This is why lately we have made it clear, following the Gen Z demonstrations. They were not, some have called them protests. They are not. The young people of Kenya were exercising their lawful constitutional right under Article 37 of our Constitution to petition those in authority and others. And I want to thank the international media, including the Kenyan media. The media in this country are not spared police brutality. As happened to the lady in Nakuru, working I think for Media Max, who was shot and injured. And that did not even spare international media personnel. Larry Madowo of CNN. And they didn't know what they were doing, because Larry Madowo was interviewing the Gen Zs in the streets, armed only, as we have said before, with their national flag, the pride of the nation, a bottle of water, and their telephones. And I gather, even as we speak, They have even switched off Wi-Fi. Are you able to access internet? Can you imagine the type of administration we are dealing with? Imagine that this important event is even derailed. But I can tell you one thing, Mr. Ruto, you can never derail the aspirations of the Kenyan people. It is not possible. It is too late. Therefore, going forward, we will not even take this. Fortunately, the media are here. You need to tell the country, what are they afraid of? Therefore, the supreme law of the land is what has made us to gather here. Today, the second day after the 14 years of a very progressive document. Article 43, very important as well, Article 27, on the right against discrimination. So if you discriminate our education system, and you discriminate against Kenyan parents and students, imagine what psychological impact is occasioned by you being asked as you fill in that portal, eleza the mental status of your parents. Is your mother or your father depressed? Does he suffer mental illness? I saw some of those forms. What are you doing? Degrading the Kenyan personality. Well, we tell you one thing. That whole thing, Band 1, Band 2, Band 4, is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional. And I think our courts will declare that unconstitutional. I don't need to say I once was Minister of Education, that under President Kibaki we did what we did, declared a free primary education, made it even compulsory. It is that system of education which has produced the Gen Zs. By the way, this constitution could be in the streets, Senator tells me, could also be in the streets, 14 years, could also be in the streets with the Gen Zs. Therefore, we must defend a right to freedom. We have only this country that we call our motherland, and we know that men and women in this country have died in defense of freedom. And this country is now become the example in the world. The Gen Zs in Kenya are now celebrated worldwide. University students in Bangladesh took a view and they overthrew a dictatorship. Our Prime Minister Shin, I think that was her name, had to flee by helicopter to India. Because she interfered with university education. Because she brought discrimination in education. So we are not through with you, Kenya Kwanza. The Kenyan people are not through with you. And by the way, let's be very clear. There's no way you can act in contradiction of this law and get away with it. One thing is very clear, and I was having lunch before I came here with some international diplomats, and they're all full of praise for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Larry Madowo, every 1 hour on CNN, the whole world is being treated to what happened in the streets of Kenya. And one mama is being asked, are you in support of this demonstration? She said, yes, they are helping us. They are our children. Parliament, in our view, stands impeached by the Kenyan people. The moment you allowed a sniper to go on top of the National Assembly and kill those young people we found in the mob, as if they're international terrorists, and all they were trying to do was to come and petition their members of parliament, and then they went in. That to me amounted to taking power under Article number 1 of the Constitution, where Kenyans can choose to exercise their sovereign power either directly or through their democratically elected representatives. So if you're not democratically elected, you are not the Kenyan representative. You're not representative of the Kenyan people. So we must stand strong. And I want to give my pledge that the opposition, working together with the Gen Zs, the millennials, their parents, will work as a team to make sure that there will be no derogation of our basic rights under this Constitution. And nobody will be allowed to get away with it. It's not possible. This is a new country. It's a new country. The Gen Zs are able, I think with assistance sometimes, of artificial intelligence, to even go into your bank accounts and find out how much you've stolen. They are able to fight corruption in real time. And so let us keep at it. Without let or hindrance, this will be the order. This is the new king. You may think you have demoralized them. You may think you have killed them and you have scared them. But it is not possible to kill that spirit of true liberation and national salvation. And therefore we say, Okoa Kenya, Okoa Katiba. Sema Okoa Katiba. Okoa Katiba. Wangapi wako tayari kuokoa katiba hii? Because this is the way to go. Comrades, power. Power. Comrades, Ria. Ria. Comrade Babu. Babu. He will talk to you because he was here as a leader for a very long time, as a student leader, and we thank you, Babu, for standing strong. We stand with you. I just wanted to make that point clear. There's no retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender. Because if you want to amend the Constitution, whatever it is you want to do, please look at the NADCO report. Some of it may be overtaken by time. But we want to tell you that there is no way, for example, any dictator in this country will try to say extend the life of one's leadership. Sometimes say, oh, wanataka wapeleke from 2 terms to 3 terms to no terms. Absolutely, Kenyans now know, the world knows that there is no way William Ruto can extend even by a day. Even the 1 term now is a clear 1 term, because unless he apologizes to the Kenyan people, unless we hear that Kome, in addition to resigning, is actually brought before the courts of justice. Or one bunge, the snipers are policemen. They shot dead our young people, young leaders, whose time has come. Unless they are brought before the courts of justice to answer for crime. And I want to ask, you heard me refer to the ICC, crimes against humanity. We are assembling every evidence. Kwa hivyo sasa, it is not the same. It's not going to be business as usual. And you're going to see this team. We will be making announcements as we go forward. I don't want to make them begin to cut off internet and to do whatever. When we say we go to the street, it will be Gen Z plus millennial plus even their grandmother may come up. We have to say, Gen Z have a Gen Alpha. All of them. Because we must save our mother tongue. And therefore we will fight them. We will fight them at every stage. We will fight them from the mountaintop, from the valleys, from the street corners. We will not allow them to make this country a banana republic. Never. This will be a multi-party democracy. And today there was an election. What do you think Ruto would get? another 20 times to open, to launch projects 30 times. Kenyans know. Kenyans know. I said yesterday, if you're not careful, you might get the Ruto government to Fungamano to launch Constitution 2010. Which Constitution he himself opposed. He never believes in this Constitution. Therefore, the believers in this Constitution, living document, have to stand together and defend it. We will be there, God willing, all the way. All the way. And so, I want to stop there by saying, long live Kenya. Viva Kenya. The struggle continues. The struggle continues. La lucha continúa.